Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're uncovering a covert operation shrouded in secrecy and manipulation. Operation Librarian. Despite its seemingly harmless name, this operation was anything but innocent. Conducted during the height of Cold War espionage, Operation Librarian aimed to control access to information, manipulate educational institutions, and suppress intellectual freedom in countries targeted for political influence. This operation highlights the darker side of information warfare, where controlling knowledge became a weapon of power. Let's dive into the hidden world of Operation Librarian and its long-term impact on societies around the globe. What was Operation Librarian? Operation Librarian was a covert program designed by an intelligence agency, believed to be part of Cold War efforts to manipulate access to knowledge in targeted nations. The operation focused on influencing libraries, universities, and publishing networks to control what information people could access. By shaping the narrative through censorship and disinformation, the operation sought to limit ideological diversity and suppress content that was critical of allied governments or supportive of rival ideologies like communism. Educational systems and institutions became battlegrounds for influence, with Operation Librarian infiltrating these environments to push politically favorable material and eliminate opposing viewpoints. Dirty tactics used in Operation Librarian. Censorship of books and resources. Libraries were pressured to remove or restrict access to books, research papers, and other materials deemed subversive or anti-government. In many cases, texts critical of Western allies or favorable to socialist or nationalist movements were banned. Infiltration of educational institutions. Intelligence agents and operatives were placed within universities and schools to influence curricula and control the hiring of professors. This ensured that politically aligned narratives dominated education, shaping how students perceived history, politics, and economics. Propaganda through publishing. The operation funded pro-Western publishers to produce materials promoting democratic capitalism while discrediting rival ideologies. These books and academic papers were distributed to libraries and universities worldwide, often disguised as neutral educational content. Blacklisting intellectuals. Writers, researchers, and academics who opposed the operation's agenda were silenced or discredited. Many were blacklisted, denied publishing opportunities, or removed from teaching positions. This stifled intellectual freedom and prevented alternative perspectives from gaining traction. Why it's considered dirty? Operation Librarian weaponized knowledge by turning education and information access into tools of control. By censoring ideas and manipulating academic institutions, the operation violated the principles of intellectual freedom and stifled democratic discourse. This type of covert manipulation undermined the credibility of libraries and universities, institutions that are supposed to champion truth, transparency, and diversity of thought. Additionally, it contributed to long-term mistrust in education systems, particularly in regions that became heavily targeted. Impact and consequences. The effects of Operation Librarian were deep and far-reaching. In many countries, generations of students were deprived of access to diverse perspectives, resulting in limited critical thinking skills and increased vulnerability to propaganda. Moreover, the operation's actions fueled censorship and repression, especially in authoritarian states that collaborated with foreign powers. This led to a climate of fear and intellectual suppression, where both educators and students feared expressing dissenting ideas. However, the exposure of these tactics in later years sparked global movements for intellectual freedom and academic independence, with renewed efforts to protect libraries, universities, and free expression from political interference. Legacy and Lessons. Operation Librarian serves as a warning about the dangers of information control in the wrong hands. It underscores the importance of free access to knowledge as a foundation for democracy and progress. Today, the fight for intellectual freedom continues, as new forms of information manipulation, through digital censorship and disinformation, emerge in the modern era. The story of Operation Librarian reveals how powerful forces have used information control to shape society and maintain political dominance. While the operation may have succeeded in limiting access to knowledge temporarily, it ultimately inspired a global push for academic freedom and transparency. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.